any of you trust him? Any of you?
No.
So what should we do with him?
Treat him like the dictator that he is. He's killed 100,000 of his own people. You got to marginalize him and somehow get a plan to get him out of there.
Do you want to kill him?
No.
Who wants to kill him here? Raise your hands if you want to kill him. You actually want to see him executed?
Yeah, he killed 100,000 of his own people. Why should he live?
Why should it be the U.S.'s decision who lives and who dies?
Well, we're doing that now. Obama has a hit list.
Who's replacing him? Seriously, who takes his place? It could be worse.
We are a constitutional republic, not a constitutional democracy. Assad isn't part of a constitutional republic. He doesn't matter. We can't, but he still controls a sovereign country. We don't have the right to go in and alter that sovereign country.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yes. We can't trust him.
Go ahead.
If he is using chemicals of mass destruction against his own people, I suspect that he is a bit crazy. But we can't just go and annihilate a dictator, and there has to be some sort of diplomatic approach to it prior to diplomatic, and also treating him with dignity and respect. We're never going to get anywhere if we try to strong arm every dictator.
I just don't think that we do have an opportunity for diplomacy in this area of the country with these type of people.
The problem is that how do you treat somebody with respect when they lie to your face? He sat there and he talked to the reporter and he said, "I can't confirm that we have weapons," and then just a couple days ago he says, "Oh, I'll give them all up."
But I don't understand. If people think he's crazy and he's a dictator, then why don't we bomb him? Why aren't we? Why does everyone disagree with using force?
Go ahead.
Right now, we got to worry about the splinter in our own eye before we start worrying about the plank in someone else's eye.
What does that mean?
I don't understand. Hasn't been around for decades.
We have so many issues right now in this
we're
country.
Always going to have
we're talking about
issues.
right now taking vengeance, and vengeance is not to deal with our military.
It's not about vengeance, though. It's
after the fact. It's a moral obligation when people are alive. After the fact, and this is after the fact.
An extreme line on the world stage.
We don't know. There's no conclusive evidence. He didn't give any conclusive evidence. He did not give any conclusive evidence.
The end game is there's never been leadership. Never been leadership here. Yeah. If he had started off, we would have understood it. If he went in there and did what he was supposed to do or didn't go in there and say it, his leadership would have helped a heck of a lot. He needed just to make a commitment. He needed not to waffle back and forth and back and forth.
To do what?
He could have acted
to do whatever he wants to do. To demand what he wanted to do and do
what's going on?
That's what Bush did.
Jason.
Bush went in there and did what he's supposed to do, whether he thought we agreed or we didn't.
The problem in Syria is the same problem with the mess of the rest of the Middle East. There are no better options. Iraq, we're not better off for having gone to Iraq. In fact, we destabilized it and made Iran the power in that region. Afghanistan might be marginally better off.
Therefore,
let sleeping dogs lie. We need to stay out of it. If we don't have, because we don't have a better result than what they have.
It's a revolution. We have to let
it play out. So we should not be involved at all.
Don't interfere with the revolution, but you have to take the chemical weapon option off the table for Assad.
And how do you do that if you don't get tough with him?
They're saying that we need to have an agreement that we can verify President Obama said it.
If you cannot trust Assad and he is using chemical weapons, we play on a world stage. The United States is part of a big global conglomerate. We are not alone. We have to act.
I think killing your own people and gassing them is a war crime. And if we believe that, let's build a real coalition of international partners and go in and overthrow him.
I just feel like we're the Lone Ranger. You know, we're out here on all by ourselves. There's nobody else coming to aid and assist us.
Can I ask you a direct question?
Sure.
That's one of the reasons why people voted for Barack Obama in 2008, is that he would improve America's standing across the globe. What does it say? What does it say that this president, who was elected to reestablish relations, has no global support? What does that say?
It feels like he's being punked on the world stage right now.
He's being punked?
That's the same thing I said. Yeah. He's had global support before. He had global support
actually punked other countries in thinking that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So now people are tired of crying wolf. I think at this point we're very war weary, but something needs to be done.
But that's the point. That is the point. We're trying to figure out. You watched him. You watched how Assad responded We need to wrap up.
We also know he's working with Iran, trying to destabilize Iraq. And somebody down here earlier said, we don't know if we'll get a democracy if he goes. We don't. But we know if he stays, we're going to have a dictatorship. And we know he's going to be working against the Americans in Iraq, in Iran, in Afghanistan, and anywhere else in the Middle East to destabilize.
Who agrees with that? Who disagrees with that? So even on something so clear-cut, we still don't have a consensus. And you know what? As this debate goes on, I don't think we are ever going to have a consensus. The president's going to have to act. Congress is going to have to decide whether or not to support. And let's hope that something happens.